Welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to apply matrix transformation DC crop effect to a live camera preview in Expo React Native project using Camera X and Media 3 effect for Android. So first let me show you guys the output. So here I have the output recorded, so I'll just play this video. So first you need to give the camera permission. Once you give it, now this might be so here you can see this is the DC crop effect. We are displaying the live camera preview, and we also have the capture button. Once I click on the capture button, it will capture the image and display it inside an image view for us. So here you can see. So yeah, that's what this video is about. Now the matrix transformation API is very powerful. Instead of doing this DC crop, you can do whatever you feel like. It's up to you. So I just demonstrating one of the use case of matrix transformation. So let's get started with the code. So here what the next step is, to create an Expo React Native project. So you can just run this command inside your terminal and it will create an Expo React Native project for you. It will ask you for your app name, just give it some app name. Now just to quickly show you the documentation as well, there are multiple ways to create an Expo React Native project. I'm using this blank TypeScript template as you can see over here, but if you want you can use all these other templates as well. The reason I'm using this blank TypeScript template is because it creates a blank less boilerplate code with TypeScript support. That's why. Okay, once that is done, you need to go to this URL over here. So like I said, will be writing native code. I'm not using any third-party library. Also the Expo version which I'm using is 53.0.2. Unfortunately, the Expo guys have still not updated to React Native 80, which has been released a month ago from the time me recording this video, but they still haven't updated it. I don't know why, but anyways, for our case this is fine. There I don't think there will be any breaking changes as such. So just go to this URL next. So here you will have to select Android device, select development build, and I have already done all these steps. So here you will have to select your own operating system. I have already ran this command. I have set the Java home as well. I have also set up Android Studio as well. So if you haven't done this, you will have to follow this documentation, then do this particular bit of stuff, then do this particular bit of stuff. Then you will have to cd to your application, so the Expo React Native application inside your terminal, the cd to my app or whatever is your Expo React Native project name, and then just run this command. So this will install this Expo dev client dependencies as well. So you'll have to run this command. Once you run this command, you will have to run this command over here, npx expo run android. Once you run this command, you should see this Android folder being created for you. It will also ask you like, do you want to run your application on a simulator or a real device? So you don't have to run it. You can just press Ctrl C. We'll run it at the very end once the application is done. Once we finish writing code, because we will be writing native code, right? So you can't just hot reload or hot refresh. You will have to run it from the start, so no point in running it now. Okay, then we need to create this module. So for that you need to go to this particular documentation. Like I said, this is only for Android, so we are not concentrating on iOS. So I'll open it inside a new tab, and here you can see you first need to run this command. Okay, then it will ask you some questions like what should be the module name. Don't enter anything, just press enter. That's it, and it will give you this. It should create this folder for you, modules, my module. That's it. Okay, now I'll just close this. Now a few things which you need to do. So first you need to go to the src folder, go to my module.type.ts, and here you can see this is the URL. Like, this is the thing which we will use for sending, this key we will be using for sending the image URL from native Android side to Expo React Native side. Okay, now here I have commented this particular thing out. Now this all thing was present by default. I have not added this by myself. I will tell you what I have changed. I have commented these two things out. Now don't get confused by this URL and this URL. This URL is for sending the data back from native Android side or from native side to Expo React Native side, and this basically is a prop. We are not using any prop, so I have commented this out. And this particular thing is same what I have written over here. I have just changed the name on image taken, just so that it makes more sense in our case. That's why. That's the only thing which I have changed. Okay, and I don't think I have changed anything inside my module. Just check once. I think this should be the same for you as well. Then once that is done, you need to go to the Android folder. You need to go to build.gradle, and here you need to add this dependencies block. So here you need to add this camera core, then this camera 2, camera lifecycle, camera view, then Android X camera media 3 effect, which is still in alpha at the time of me recording this video, and this media 3 effect as well. If this library does become stable, make sure you use the stable version. Then Android X app compat 1.7.0 as well. Okay, once you add all this, you need to go to the main Android folder, go to app, src, main, android manifest.xml, and here you can see we need to add two things. First is this uses feature of Android hardware camera as well as this camera permission. So make sure you add these two things. Now we also require this write external storage, but this was added by default when we create an Expo React Native project, so I don't need to add it. Okay, and also the internet permission is a good thing to do. Okay, once that is done, let's just see how to use it. We'll see the implementation in a bit. So just go to app.tsx, and here are all the imports which I have written, so feel free to pause the video and copy all these imports. Then here we have one state for image URL, one state just to check whether camera permission was granted or not. Then here I am just checking whether the Android version is greater than 10 or not, greater than equal to 10, because from Android 10 we don't require the write external storage permission. So that's what I'm doing over here inside this method. Depending on the Android version, we are asking for the required permission, and here you can see once the permission has been granted, we just change the state of this particular variable over here as well. Okay, and inside use effect we just call this particular method over here. Once image URL is not equal to empty, then we'll just display the image using the image React Native image element. If it is empty, like at the default it is empty, and if camera permission is granted, then we just display this camera preview as well as our capture button. Else we just say display a text saying camera permission not granted, and these are the styles for that particular thing as well. Okay, then again you need to go to module, my module, go to src java, and here you first need to go to my module.kt. Okay, first you need to add this particular import. Now why we need to add this? Because we need to annotate this my module @ unstable API. This is because this media 3 effect libraries are bit like this is an alpha, right? But this unstable API is because of this particular library. Even though this is stable, the API is bit unstable. This is one of the quirks of Android development. Hopefully by the time you guys watch this video, they hopefully resolve this issue, but at least at the time of me recording we need to add this. Okay, and rest everything I have kept it as it is. Then just scroll down, and here inside my module we have commented this out because we are not passing any prof. So to comment out things in Kotlin, you just have to add this // and here also I have commented this out, events on load, and here I have this events on image taken, because that's the type which we are using over here, right? That's why I'm using events on image taken. That's the only change which you need to make. Now let's see the actual code on how to do this. Is you need to open this my module view.kt file, and inside this particular class you will see some default code. Just delete all that boilerplate code, we are not going to need that. Then these are these imports, so feel free to pause the video. I'll simply scroll through this file, just copy paste all these imports which we have. Now we are annotating this class with @ unstable API because we are using media 3 APIs in this particular class which are unstable at the time of me recording this video. But given that this class is used inside this my module.kt, that's why we have to also annotate my module.kt with unstable annotation. Okay, now let's come over here. So first, this event dispatcher is used for sending data from native Android side to Expo React Native side. Here we get hold of our activity. Then here is our frame layout, here is our camera, this is the preview, this is the image capture. Here we initialize our button, here we initialize our camera preview view. Here is our camera executor service. Then this is the process camera provider. Here we get the back facing lens. Then we set the layout params to our frame layout. Then we add it to our parent view. Then we set the layout params to our viewfinder as well. Viewfinder is basically the camera preview view. Then here we call this particular method. I'll tell you more about this once I show you the implementation of this. Then here we set the text background color, text color as well as alpha to our capture button. Also here we are adding viewfinder to our frame layout. Then here we set layout params for our button as well and add our button to our frame layout. We also add a click listener to it. Then we override on attached to window, and here we check if it has camera permission. Then we say call setup camera, and on detach from window, then we shut down our camera executor as well as unbind our camera provider. Now this is the method which I was talking about. Why do we need to write this method? So there is an issue open in React Native's repo. You can go to this particular URL over here. It has been open since 8 years. This is still not fixed. So what happens is, if you don't write this particular bit of code, you will just see a black screen instead of your live camera preview. That's why we need to add this particular hack code over here. Then here we have the setup camera, where we get the camera provider feature. We add a listener to it as well. We get the camera provider, we bind it to the camera use case. Then here we get the rotation as well. We assign camera provider to this. And then we get the back facing lens. Here is our aspect ratio strategy. Here is our resolution selector as well. Here we initialize our preview view. Here is our image capture as well. Then we do use case group dot builder, add our preview use case as well as image capture. Here is our media 3 effect as well, and here we set the list of effects. So here is the matrix transformation factory calling the create dizzy crop effect. Then add the media 3 effect to our use case group builder. We unbind our camera provider, we bind it to the life cycle and assign it to this variable. We also set the surface provider. Then here we have the take photo method, in which we get the image capture. Here we have this name of simple date format. Then here we initialize content values and pass the display name, mime type, and if Android version greater than P, we also set the relative path. Then here we have the image capture output options as well. Then we take the picture and here we override on image saved. So once the image is saved, we get the URI of the image and we send it back to React Native side with the help of this code. Then we unbind our camera provider. Then here is just checking whether we have the proper camera permissions or not, and these are the variable tag and file name format. Now you might be wondering, where is the dizzy crop effect code? So here you can see we have this matrix transformation factory, and here we are calling create dizzy crop. Now for this I have created a separate file. So this effect is not present by default in the media 3 APIs. You have to use the matrix transformation APIs. So you need to create another file called matrix transformation factory.kt. Now here you can just copy paste the code. Unfortunately even I don't really understand it because I'm not a good at math. So here is all the math logic which has been written, but like I said, instead of dizzy crop you can add your own math logic and apply some kind of different effect to live camera preview as well. I have copied all this code from the Android documentation, so feel free to pause the video and just copy the code. So yeah, that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.